Welcome back. You are watching Kanhaiya Kumar there in an interview to Barkha Dutt the day after he was released from Tihar jail, where he had been kept in judicial custody. The interview also comes after his thrilling speech to students of Jawaharlal Nehru University upon his release, a speech broadcast live by most television news networks. I would hasten to add once again, most television news networks. A speech that made Kanhaiya Kumar trend as #1 worldwide on Twitter for a while. Detractors of Kanhaiya say a lot of those who were tweeting about him didn't necessarily have nice things to say. There are others, though, who are clear. A new political star has been born, a leader who decisively spelt out just what he meant when he used the term Azadi. No, he is not anti-Indian, not at all. The Azadi he speaks about is Azadi from forces within, Azadi from hunger, from poverty, from exploitation, from harassment. Azadi for Dalits, for tribals and minorities. Is this seriously a man who could have been charged with sedition? Is Kanhaiya Kumar remotely anti-Indian? That's the question we're asking. Khushbu from the Congress Party with me in the studio. Prashant Bhushan joins us as well. We'll be joined by a spokesperson from the BJP momentarily, and Ashutosh from the Aam Aadmi Party joins us. Mr. Bhushan, has a new political star been born?
I think it's not right to call him a star. I think certainly a political leader of very high order has been born. Kanhaiya, by his speeches, I of course saw his earlier speech also of the 9th or the 11th of February, which was the day before he was arrested. I watched his speech yesterday and I have watched some of his interviews today. Clearly, he comes across as a person, firstly, as a very simple, down-to-earth, clear-headed, courageous, and with a considerable amount of depth about understanding of social and political issues of this country. So in that respect, I think what Kanhaiya has shown is that he is he has the potential of becoming a leader of a different order of magnitude than what we see today in our existing mainstream political parties.
All right.
He is clearly emerged as a person of a very, very high order.
Ashutosh, let me come to you next, because despite his clarification on what he meant by Azadi, we've seen the conditions and the terms of the High Court order on his release. There was nothing terribly flattering which was said in that order against him. In fact, the judge was quite, some would use the phrase conservative in the manner in which this particular case was dealt with. The judge expressed concerns as far as anti-national sentiments were concerned. So while Kanhaiya may be seen as a student hero, as a potential political star, as a bright spark, his battle against these allegations is far from over.
Let me tell you that let's not jump to the conclusion. Yes, he has shown the flashes of brilliance and the kind of maturity and the purity which he has shown and uttered on the TV channels interviews. I think it's very, very remarkable. But the judgment which has been pronounced in the form of the observations, I just like to say one thing, that these are observations. It may not be right to call it a conservative or the forward or whatever, or the progressive, but yes, certain observation has been made, and I think Kanhaiya has been very remarkable in terms of defining those observations. He said, whatever the judge has said in its observation, that is what I want to pursue in my life. He said, that is my dream. He said, nobody should be a traitor. Nobody should be working against the constitution. Nobody should be working against the country. He said, that is what I am trying to pursue. That is what is my dream.
Okay.
So it's very apparent that the politeness and somebody who has been in jail, who has been ill-treated by the lawyers and who has been beaten up, today in the interview with Barkha, I had not seen an iota of bitterness. And that is the beauty of
And
this,
there was
this
no
university.
bitterness even yesterday.
Today I feel very...
There was no bitterness even yesterday when he was released. I want to go across to Babul Supriyo for a moment. He joins us now, Union Minister. Sir, thanks very much for being with us, Mr. Supriyo. Now that he has clarified what he has meant by Azadi, is the BJP willing to accept that this boy, this young student, is not anti-national?
Well, Vishnu, let me speak at this point of time, as I know the ministerial tag is going to be there on me, it is there on me. But I feel that when I saw his speech for the first time, yes, I'm very impressed by his oratory skills, the way the clarity of thought, in the manner in which he's saying what he wants to say. But I'm really confused about what kind of Azadi is he really talking about. And there is no questioning the fact that the kind of politics that he's trying to do in the college might not be unknown. That is something not that we have seen. But
He's talking about Azadi from hunger, from Azadi from poverty. What's wrong with Azadi from that? He's not talking about Azadi from India. He's talking about Azadi from within, forces which are against all of us in India.
Well, Vishnu, that is all rhetoric. That is all that he's saying today, because he understands very well. I can very well see another. I have another Kejriwal Saab in the making. I can very well understand his point of view in terms of Azadi, but this is not the language what he was speaking prior to the fiasco of his arrest and everything else. Sedition and everything else is a different debate. But Sitaram Yechury had said that Kanhaiya is going to come to West Bengal to campaign for.
Yes, he's going to campaign. Yes, he is. That is interesting news. That is a development.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. There is nothing wrong in that.
Vishnu, I just want to.
What he is talking.
I just want to intervene for 10 seconds.
Ashutosh, half a second. I need to go across to Khushbu as well. Khushbu, the BJP is not convinced by his definition of Azadi.
They can never be convinced because they don't understand the definition of Azadi. You understand the definition of Azadi only if you have fought for the Azadi of this nation. You don't have BJP or RSS or whatever has happened before that ever fighting for the Azadi. In fact, when you talk about the patriotism, you talk about what Azadi is about. BJP and RSS are absolutely clueless. For them, serving the British and serving the British rule was patriotism all about. So how are they going to understand? How do we even expect them to understand what Azadi is about? I mean, if you think that BJP is going to understand what is Azadi, then we are making fools of ourselves.
Yes, Babul Supriyo, go ahead.
Because you and me are born after freedom, are you trying to say that we don't understand what freedom is? This is absolute ridiculous kind of statement.
Babul, you need to understand, we are talking about Azadi. Azadi is not after you and I were born. Azadi is way back when Mahatma Gandhi, Lokmanya Tilak were also charged with sedition charges. It was way back in 1922. I'm sure that even your parents or my parents were not born then. So Azadi is not now. Azadi is then. And unfortunately, you people have been trying to force your ideas and your ideologies on the people of this country.
We have seen what Congress meant by Azadi and what kind of Azadi.
Please, we take the pride in saying that it was only the Congress who fought for the Azadi, not the BJP or the RSS.
Let's not get into
Definitely not. We take the pride in saying that.
I feel that Kanhaiya's explanation about Azadi and his understanding of Azadi has changed from pre his arrest and post his arrest.
No, but Babul, what has he said earlier on?
He said
there is not an iota of evidence against him.
Yes.
Ashutosh has a point to make. Ashutosh, go ahead.
We'll see that over a period of time.
See, Vishnu, I think Vishnu, I think we all the political activists should take some lessons from this fellow called Kanhaiya. The politeness, the bitterness, the no bitterness which he has shown. I think even during the discussions we should be maintaining that dignity. What Azadi he was referring to, in the last question which the Barkha has asked, he very clearly said whatever is enshrined into the preamble of the constitution, that should be implemented, and that is the real Azadi. I think nothing can be described more beautifully than this. That let the constitution be implemented. The ideals of the constitution, if we could implement, there will be no poverty in this country, there will be no illiteracy in the country, there will be harmony in this country, there will be no division in this country. I think this is the most beautiful definition of Azadi I had heard from anybody. And I'm feeling so proud today that I belong to the JNU, which has created a man like Kanhaiya today. I'm so proud of it that I belong to JNU, from which this boy also belongs.
That got insinuated because of all that thing is now all gone to the back door, because subtly Kanhaiya has understood what Azadi means and he seems to be preaching that to the nation. Is that what it's all about?
But one moment,
Babu, let
Prashant
me tell you,
Bhushan,
Babu,
is there anything?
let me tell you that before he was arrested, there is a speech on the YouTube where in 20 minutes he explained what the Azadi is. He said Azadi means the freedom from the poverty. Azadi means freedom from the unemployment. Azadi means so many other things. I think you please go back and watch.
Prashant
and
Bhushan,
read
is there anything that he said before this?
Before his arrest. You
Is
will
there
understand what
anything
he was
that he
referring
said?
to.
Is he changing his definition of Azadi because he realizes he's been in legal trouble?
I am very happy if Kanhaiya
Mr.
No,
Bhushan.
absolutely not.
Okay.
to this definition of
Absolutely not, Vishnu. If you listen to his speech prior to his arrest, the 20-minute speech that Ashutosh mentioned, he says exactly those kind of things which he said yesterday. Unfortunately, you see, you can't expect a BJP or an RSS person to understand what he is saying, because what Kanhaiya is saying is that we need Azadi from all those retrograde things like casteism, inequality, fascism, suppression of freedom of speech, creation of this false nationalism, worshipping Hitler and fascists like Hitler, etc. We need Azadi from this kind of thinking which is represented by the BJP and the RSS. Therefore, we cannot expect the BJP, anybody from the BJP or the RSS to understand what Kanhaiya means by Azadi. Because for them, nationalism means a kind of fascist imposition.
After so many years, Kanhaiya suddenly comes up to the scene. Kanhaiya suddenly comes into the scene and teaches everyone what Azadi is, and all other netas, every other leader of the country, including Bajpayee ji, they never understood what Azadi is. Is that what you're trying to say?